Hey everyone, welcome back. I wish I had better news for you, but it looks like the markets are not doing that well as we hoped it would have. Bitcoin is way down. It's at 15,000 something right now. Markets were down today also. They didn't like what's going on with obviously the election. So we'll take a look at markets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, see what's going on there. We'll also take a look at the Bitcoin miners. They're way down today as well. They're being crushed. It's not helping with the Bitcoin price either. Then we got obviously FTX, possible bankruptcy. Binance is not buying them, it looks like. So we'll talk about that really quick as well. And then we'll take a look at Stronghold. They provided their Q3 results. We'll go over that kind of quickly as well. The thing that we really want to get into is now with Bitcoin price being at 15,000 something, what does that actually mean for the miners? How much less income are they going to be bringing in revenue for the month of November? And then obviously going into December possibly as well with Bitcoin being down where it's at. And what does it mean for the miners that have higher priced electricity? So we'll get into all that. So as always, not financial advice. This is for entertainment only. You guys have to do your own research. I'm investing in farming cleansing companies, and for full disclosure, I did buy some more CleanSpark today at $2.73, but another 200 shares, trying to dollar cost average as best I can into the market. All right, let's take a look at the markets really quick. We'll get into Bitcoin as well, and we'll call it a day. Let me get this pulled up. All right, here we go. So S&P was down 2.08%, Dow Jones was down 1.95%, and the Nasdaq was down 2.37%. Like I said before, the markets didn't like the fact of the outcome of the elections. It is what it is. We're not going to talk about politics here, but we will get into obviously what's going on with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was way down. I mean, it's down almost 25% in the last 3 days here. And the fear is the contagion of what's going on with FTX has possibly not finished up. So we're down 24% in the last 3 days. And we finished out the day here already. We're into the new day. We're up a little bit on slightly green. We did dip down to a low of $15,512. And we started out, our high was $18,590. So we went down $2,658, 14.33% on the day. It's not good. RSI is way down at 24 right now on the daily chart. Last time we were this low was back here in June of 18th, and we were only down at that point at 17,567. So we're down almost $2,000 more from that point where we were back then. RSI was even lower at that point. So the fear now is that we may continue going down a little bit more tomorrow. Our next possible support line will be around 14,700 roughly. We've seen that support line in the past in the prior bull cycle in 2017. We also saw it back this time around last year and a little bit prior to that, where we bounced around at 14. So that might be our next stop mark where we might end up at. After that, we're going down to like 12,000, 10,000 if that doesn't hold. And hopefully this whole thing with FTX can get sorted out and we can get maybe back on the right track of going up again. But we'll have to see what's going on there. Ethereum was down also a lot today. It was down on today, let's see, it was down 17.56%. If we look at it, how much it's been down in the last 2 days here. It's been down, let's see here, from here all the way down to here. So it's down even more. It's down 30%. So it's 6% more than Bitcoin is right now on that one. RSI is way down here at 28. Last time it was down that far. Well, it was actually lower in price at that point. It was down to 994, 990 roughly at that time frame, and that was back in June 17th. So it's looking a little bit better in Ethereum world right now than it is in Bitcoin world. But we'll keep an eye on it, see what happens going forward. Take a look at the miners here. Annie was down 7.5% on the day to 37 cents. Argo was down 13.94% to 7 cents. BitDigital was down 10.29% to 94 cents. Bitfarms was down 12.03% to 71 cents. CleanSpark was down 14.9% to $2.49. Cores down 10.43% to 12 cents. DigiHost down 20% to 6 cents or 60 cents, sorry. DMG was down 3.67% to 16 cents. Greenedge was down 8.69% to 65 cents. Hive was down 10.55% to $2.29. Hut was down 10.36% to $1.73. Iris Energy was down 13.25% to $2.16. Lexfolio was actually up today 20%, surprisingly, to 0.0072 cents. Marathon was down 3.51% to $9.61. Boston was down 2.73% to 39 cents. Riot down 8.07% to $4.90. Soluna down 11.35% to 85 cents. And Stronghold was down 15.42% to 69 cents. And we'll talk about Stronghold here in a minute. About 80% of the miners are now at their new 52-week lows. Some are still up. Riot is still up from that low hit in June, July area, along with Marathon and a couple others. I believe Hut is also up from their 52-week low. So those are still looking a little bit better. But like I said, 80% of the miners are actually down in the market. Other thing is network hash rate has come down a little bit. So network is now at 259 million terahashes per second. We peaked at 273. It's looking like the miners are shutting down their operations, the ones that have probably the higher electrical costs. So they're probably shutting down right now because it's not profitable. And we'll look at that towards the end of the video here. Okay, so not a great day in the miners, Bitcoin, Ethereum markets. It was a bad day. Let's take a look at what's going on with FTX. So Sam Bankman-Fried warns FTX investors of bankruptcy without more cash. This was from Bloomberg. And it looks like Binance has decided not to buy FTX properties that are outside of the United States. And it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So let's get into this really quick. BTC and altcoin continue to sell off, hitting new yearly lows as the collapse of FTX begins to drastically impact investors across the entire crypto market. And we're obviously seeing it here. Let's see. Crypto markets crumbled for the second day as the fallout from FTX liquidity troubles continued to negatively impact investor sentiment, which it has, obviously. Throughout the day, Bitcoin price dropped, falling to a new yearly below 16,000. It's at 15,000 something right now, as Binance announced that would back out of its agreement to acquire FTX. Investors had pinned their hopes on a rather swift market rebound if Binance was successfully able to acquire FTX. But now that the deal is scuppered, that's a new one for me, BTC and altcoin prices has sold off further. We also have other coins that are being impacted by this as well. So another factor having potential impact on the market is a wave of successive liquidations in Soluna's decentralized finance markets. Earlier in the day, cryptocurrency exchange Crypto.com emailed its users to inform them that all Soluna-based USD coin, USDC deposits had been suspended. That's not good. So there's some contagion going on there. Notice on the Crypto.com website also said, please be informed we have suspended deposits and withdrawals of the USDC and USDCT on the Soluna blockchain in the Crypto.com app and exchange. So that's not good. So that's a spillover effect of what's going on with FTX. At the same time of writing, the price of Soluna Native Sol coin is down 34%, trading at $16.10. FTX native token, FTX token, FTT is also down 32% on the day and trades for $3.78. Data from CoinGlass shows 832 million in total liquidations over the past 24 hours, and many traders expect the figure to increase. So, that is painful, obviously. So that's what's going on there. Taking a look at FTT right now, it is down 57.9% on, I'm guessing on the day right now, to $2.34. It is getting creamed right now. And this all kind of started with Binance saying that they're going to be liquidating their FTT tokens. I think they had like $2 billion worth of it or something like that. So that's what's triggered that sell-off, which also, for whatever reason, and I know the reason, Soluna, I believe Soluna was backed by Sam Bankman-Fried and Alameda brokerage, or Alameda, ventures or investing, whatever that part of the business is called. They were also backing Soluna. So it looks like whatever Sam Bankman-Fried was tied to is, crashing right now. And Soluna is down 39.89% right now to $14.33. So over the last couple of days, so we've seen a pretty good drop here on both Soluna and FTT. FTT more so has a more catastrophic drop here in the last, yesterday especially, and today just continued falling even more. So that's having an effect on it, unfortunately. I think the reason why things are happening so quickly is because we've kind of learned over what happened with Luna token and everything that transpired over that. Investors are a lot more fearful, holding the bag here. So they're just, whenever there's any kind of bad news and anything that's tied to somebody that's involved in it, it is just crashing like crazy right now, which isn't helping the crypto space or Bitcoin or the miners in general. So that is what we have. Hopefully things will calm down here in the next couple of days, but we'll see how tomorrow is. If we have continued selling, if we do have continued selling, I'm looking at 14,500 for Bitcoin possibly. Okay, so that's all the bad news there. Stronghold did provide some sense of good news here. I don't cover them. Well, I did cover them for a while, but they have not been able to provide us with monthly operational updates, and for that reason, not covering them. But we still talk about it from time to time, so I thought we would just go over this really quick. And this is for their third quarter 2022 results and provides operational updates and initial 2023 guidance. So third quarter 2022 and recent operational and financial highlights. Current liquidity of approximately 27 million, comprising 27 million in cash, plus 19 Bitcoin. Current principal amount of debt outstanding of approximately 82 million. So they still have quite a bit of debt out there. And the net debt of approximately 55 million. So if you take away the 27 million from the 82 million, you get with 55 million left. They fully extinguished their 67.4 million in principal value of debt associated with NYDIG. So they did give back their, 26,000 Bitcoin miners to them. They closed a credit agreement with Whitehawk Finance on October 27th to nearly triple weighted average maturity of existing debt from approximately 13 to 36 months, reduce monthly principal payments, and add over 21 million of cash to the company's balance sheet. So that's good there. They entered into a settlement agreement with Northern Data PA on September 30th to mutually terminate the hosting agreement at what the company believes are attractive economics to Stronghold, estimated to improve cash flow by a net 10 to 22 million over the next 2 years based on certain Bitcoin price, network hash rate, capacity, miner efficiency, and uptime assumptions. So that's good as well. And then they also received or agreed to procure approximately 10,000 additional Bitcoin miners since August 16th, of which approximately 6,000 have been installed as of November 8th. We don't know what the hash rate is on those. Guessing if those are the 100 terahash miners, we're looking at 1 exahash. Total on their pumping right now at 600 petahash. They entered into a definitive hosting agreement with Foundry, so that's good. Completed major planned maintenance outages at each of the Panther Creek Power Plant and Scrubgrass Power Plant. So those are done, so that's good as well. And I'm not going to get into the commentary here. But liquidity, they talked about that a little bit. Bitcoin mining. So here's what they did for the mining. During the third quarter of 2022, Stronghold earned approximately 567 Bitcoin through its mining operations, a decline of approximately 11% from the 637 award received during the second quarter of 2022. Third quarter 2022 Bitcoin mining operations were negatively impacted by the decrease in the mining fleet associated with the NYDIG, debt extinguishment, and power plant outages in September and October related to plant maintenance. They could also put in there that network hash rate has increased as well, so that would have had an effect on it as well. Let's see, what else do we have here? Power assets updates, 2023 guidance. So this is kind of what they're looking at here. Bitcoin mining revenue is based on hash price of 0.085 per tera, hash per second per day. Hash price represents global Bitcoin mining revenue of, we know that. Let's see, where are they going to be getting to? Revenue received of selling guidance. Here we go. So for fiscal year 2023 guidance, average power output, average hash rate capacity around 3 exahash. So that's kind of where they're trying to get to in 2023. Average miner uptime, 90%. That's kind of what they're going for. Okay, so that is it. You guys can read over all the rest of the stuff if it interests you. But like I said, I don't cover them because they don't provide the monthly production updates, and it makes it very difficult to cover them. Okay, so that is all the news that we had there. Now, in this one is what we're going to do is I'm taking basically what the price of Bitcoin was, or how much is down. It's down 25% from where it was just a couple of days ago. So I'm taking the numbers there that I have for what they would have possibly generated in November if they were mining for the whole month. We're taking that and dividing it or multiplying by 0.75 to get 75% of that revenue potential if Bitcoin just stays where it's at right now. So let's get into the numbers here, and then we'll look at the cost to mine the cost to mine the miners for the miners. Okay, so Argo, I had him at possibly 5.1 million in the month of October, or sorry, in the month of November, if Bitcoin was at 20,000, right around 20,000. Now, with the 75% only revenue, since Bitcoin's down 25%, we're looking at 3.8 million in revenue. They're down almost 1.3 million in the month of November. That's going to be the same thing happening in December if Bitcoin stays flat here, or we're going to be bouncing between 17,000 and 15,000, whatever it's going to be. We just don't know. Fingers crossed that we bounce back, but you just never know. So this is kind of what we're looking at. Bit Digital is looking to be about down 702,000 from 2.8 million to 2.1 million. Bit Farms is going to be down from 8.6 to 6.5. So they're going to be down 2.1 million in revenue just in 1 month alone. That's huge. Not to mention whatever increases in hash rate we get, which I think are going to be minimal because a lot of miners are going to be shutting down. And then you have CleanSpark, which would have been at 10.5 million roughly. They're going to be down to 7.9, and that's a decrease of 2.6 million for them. Core Scientific was going to be around 29 million. Now it's going to be 22, and they're going to be down 7.4 million. They really can't afford to have this be held for long. Them along with Argo. But more so, I think, Core Scientific. They're in a tough spot right now as it is. So this really doesn't help them out. DigiHost was going to be at 1.3. Now they're going to be about 1. So that's 335,000 less for them. DMG, we're looking at 1.2 million less. They were going to be at 400,000 less. They're going to be at 1.6 million. Now it's going to be possibly 1.2, right around there. Greenedge was going to be at 4.9, almost 5. Now they're going to be at 3.7, and they're going to be down about 1.2 million on that. Hive was going to be at 5.6 roughly. Now they're going to be down at 4.2. We're looking at about 1.4 million less for Hive. Hot 8, this is in Canadian. They would have been at 8.5 million in Canadian. Now we're looking at 6.4. They're down 2.1.5 roughly, being down because Bitcoin's come down. Then you got Iris Energy was going to be at 8. Now they're going to be at 6. So they're down 2 million. And that's a lot for all these guys. Miners, metrics, don't care about that one. Marathon's going to be about 14 million in November. Now they're going to be about 10.8. That's a 3.6 million decrease for them. Mawson was going to be at 3.5. Now they're going to be at 2.6. That's 878,000 less for them. Riot was going to be at... Riot is a questionable mark because they've been doing a lot of curtailment on their mining. So I had them at 30 days here. If they were at 30 days, they would have been at 14.2. Now we have them at 10.7. That's a decrease of 3.5 million in revenue. Soluna was going to be at 1.2. Now they're going to be possibly around 9.5 or 1.2, 950,000. So that's 316,000 decrease. And then we got Sphere 3D as the last one. Where did it go? September, October. There we go. They were going to be at 227. Did I do that correctly here? Let's see here. Probably not. I forgot to do them. I mean, they're October, November. There we go. So they're going to be at 206,000 based on the network hash rate. And now they're down to 154. So they're down 51,000 on it. Okay. So you can see how quickly the price of Bitcoin coming down on them has a huge impact on the miners and the revenue that they generate from it. Lastly, let's take a look at the numbers that we have here as far as profitability is concerned on the miners. So I like to use the spreadsheet to kind of see where the miners might be in trouble. And what we're looking at here is at 5 cents per kilowatt hour right now. Network hash rate, I got it at 259 million, which is kind of where it's at right now. Bitcoin price, 15,800. We're using 3,350 watts per miner. Electricity cost at that point is $4.02. They're making only $1.47 per miner right now, which is a huge decrease from when Bitcoin price was around 20,000. So you got $1.47. And now go back up here, put that in as 20,000. $1.47. That was $2.93. What is that? Almost 50% cut in revenue, just in that alone. Right, 1,580, 293, and $1.47. Not quite 50%, but somewhere around there, 30% or something. So here's what we got. We're looking at $1.47 for them. This is at 5 cents per kilowatt hour. Now, some of the miners, I think Argo and some others might be closer to like 9 cents. That's why they've been doing a lot of curtailment as well. anybody that's at 9 cents at this point is not profitable. Right now, they're losing $1.75 if they're mining. So I would pretty much think that anybody that's over, well, let's see, what do you have to be over? Let's go to 8 cents. 8 cents, you're still losing money. 0.07. At 7 cents, you're still losing money on it. So anybody that's above 6.5 cents is losing money right now. Those guys are going to be shutting down their miners until Bitcoin price improves. Or the only other thing that can help them out is if the network hash rate falls to, like, let's say it goes back down to 230 million. Then they become profitable at 7 cents. But at 9 cents, that might still be a little tough. Let's take a look at it here. Yeah, at 9 cents, you're still losing money. You would need Bitcoin network to come down to maybe 180 million. Yeah, at that point, they would be profitable. So it's, it's all those little strings that are pulling at it. The Bitcoin price, the network hash rate, and the power cost. Those strings have a big effect on whether the miners are profitable or not, unfortunately. So let's put that back up to 259 million. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then anybody, I think, I believe that CleanSpark is at 4 cents. So they're still going to be fine. Some other companies are pretty low as well. So anybody that has low electricity is going to be able to withstand this. Now, we don't know how long this is going to be. Hopefully it's a short-term blip on the radar that we have here where price has crashed. Maybe this is the bottom. We just don't know yet. So this is what we're dealing with. It's obviously not for the faint of heart. The miners, along with Bitcoin, are extremely volatile. Sometimes I think the miners, it does appear the miners are more volatile than Bitcoin sometimes. Bitcoin comes down 15%. Bitcoin, today was pretty much, miners were down a little bit less than Bitcoin was. So it's not always the case. But nonetheless, I feel your guys' pain. I've put in some more cash this week to dollar cost average into it. We'll see where things end up at. I think I maybe $500 to $1,000 more that I can put into it before I'm tapped out for the month. And then we'll have to just wait until what happens next month. I'll have a little bit more cash to put in then. But it's definitely painful watching what you put in, and it just keeps going down and down and down. So I feel you guys. I'm with you. I'm in this boat. It's never easy. It doesn't feel great. And hopefully we can get to the other side. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. Spreadsheets, as always, available to my Patreon members. Thank you to everyone there for the continued support. That community there is growing nicely as well. So thank you to everyone for becoming a Patreon member. And yeah, we'll just have to see how things progress from here. So love you all for watching. Have a great night. Hopefully tomorrow will be better.